With Detroit's bankruptcy filing, leaders in many struggling big cities are wondering if they could be next. It's a big question. Will Tigers fans buy those World Series tickets that go on sale at noon today? It's time to take a look at some of the stories making headlines in the world of business this morning. The Dow is back in record territory. So one Fox 2 viewer posted a picture on our Fox 2 Facebook page of her cat racer dressed up as Bret Michaels. Take a look. Just imagine how awful this is. You planned for this ribbon cutting for several weeks. You have all the groups responsible out here. You had a good point earlier. We saw that picture and you said, would you rather have it up here or down here? You know, you have those
big old giant hoop
so many different things that people are doing to their bodies now that just can't be undone. You know, the Tigers, no doubt, ready for redemption after that disappointing collapse on Sunday. But you know what we were talking about in the newsroom this morning? Of course, the council says the mayor has become an embarrassment after he admitted to smoking crack cocaine during a drunken stupor. Man, this guy should just stay in one spot and not talk. Now, the video is really hard to watch, but it's important that you see it so you can help police identify the man. Take a look right now. If you're away from your TV, come into the room. The start of class is just a few weeks away, and thanks to some vandals, one Royal Oak school has some extra work to do to get ready for students. This right here, surveillance video. Back in HealthWorks, researchers who are developing a diagnostic tool for ovarian cancer are hoping dogs' keen sense of smell will lead them down the right path. An early detection device could lead to better survival rates. Grosse Pointe Shores councilman arrested on domestic violence accusations, and it's not the first time. Daniel Schulte is now charged with assaulting his wife. It's crazy, but I'm going to admit I'm guilty of this. I am.
Texting and walking? Oh, yeah.
Texting and walking, absolutely. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the number of pedestrians who have died has skyrocketed over the last few years, and it's blamed on texting and walking. 4,100 deaths in 2009 compared to 4,400 in 2011. For brides, a wedding is one of the most important days of their lives, but for one local woman, today is even more special. That's because she almost died just weeks before her big day. We're gonna have nice weather for it too. Jessica is back looking lovely. Did you have a baby? Because you look like $1 million.
It's called Spanx.
Spanx. Don't you love Spanx? Don't you wish you had Spanx?
Yeah.
All right, we are following a developing story in Wyandotte this morning. That's where a headless body was found inside a car in the Detroit River. People living in one Southgate neighborhood say rats, well, they're a big problem. In HealthWorks, a new study says more and more Michigan parents are choosing not to vaccinate their children. The CDC says about 28% of Michigan children are not vaccinated. Always makes me laugh.
Charlie, it's
perfect.
Tilt,
he's honking his horn as he comes in to do Let It Rip on the road. Now, a lot of people are talking about this one this morning. Should the state sales tax be raised to fixed roads and provide a boost to schools?
Weather and traffic on the 2s.
All right, it's time to get a check of our weather. Meteorologist Alan Longstreet is here, and if you don't like the cool temperatures, you're in for a nice treat. I hear we might have a little warm-up just in time for Dream Cruise. Yeah. Some Ford hybrid owners will get checks in the mail. The reason, inaccurate fuel mileage estimates for the C-Max. Window stickers said the car's got 47 miles per gallon, but the EPA says they don't. It's more like 43 miles per gallon. General Motors unveils a concept Cadillac. Let's take a look. It's called the El Mirage. The automaker showing off the Grand Coupe at an event in California. The new design is aimed at younger, affluent buyers. It's a rear-wheel drive and it has a lot of power. So if we'd had this a couple years ago, then one certain Tigers pitcher would have had a perfect game.
You remember this one?
It's a potentially huge decision by Major League Baseball. All right, so what's up with these odd food pairings? Pepsi-flavored Cheetos. Not something I think sounds very good to me. Detroit police spending the day teaching kids in the city about gangs and how to stay away from them. So what's shocking? How many kids are exposed to these violent groups? Some of them just 10 years old. Well, Dream Cruise weekend is finally upon us. So what is the all-time classic American car? Murray Feldman has the answer, along with your Michigan money stocks and stories next. At 7:36, with Detroit's bankruptcy filing, leaders in many struggling big cities are wondering if they could be next. It might happen in New York. Outgoing Mayor Michael Bloomberg says it's a possibility. Fox's David Lee Miller has the story from New York. But we begin with terrible news out of Afghanistan this morning. 7 Americans, including 5 people from Michigan, have died in a civilian cargo plane crash in the northeastern part of that country. Their names have not been released, but we do know they all worked for National Airlines.
Now,
Chaos at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. 2 bombs explode, killing 3 people and injuring at least 144. Now, the blast happened just seconds apart. Local and federal authorities are still trying to find out who's responsible. Yeah, a lot going on overnight. Here's what we know so far. Last night, a police officer at MIT in Cambridge, Mass. was shot and killed. The suspects took the officer's gun, carjacked an SUV, and reportedly drove off to a neighborhood. Apple is heading into new tech territory. Big surprise there. The company recently acquired 2 patents relating to how users interact with their iPhones. Oh, I know,
it's so hard for her.
shoes.
She gets the joke. I saw you laugh, too. I could see you.
All right, on a serious note, blood supply is typically low during the holiday season, but you can help by donating and save a life. Actually, 3 lives with 1 donation. If you spend most of your time on Facebook untagging yourself in unflattering photos or posts, you are not alone. A survey of more than 150 Facebook users finds nearly all of them had a Facebook experience that left them feeling awkward over the past 6 months. For a little over 4 years now, a program called 211 on the Go has silently been transforming lives here in downtown Detroit. It's bringing hope to the hopeless through opportunities for the homeless.
I just basically made a bad choice of life. And from a good life to the road of destruction.
2 years ago, Michael Smith was one of 20,000 homeless men, women, and children navigating the streets of Detroit, just struggling to survive. He came from a good family and had a good career. That's until he started smoking crack.
I went from a hard-working person to a homeless person.
Michael's story is not unique, except for the ending. That's where Tamara and Justin come in.
Homelessness is not a problem or a condition. Homelessness is a housing status, and I think people forget that.
The pair is part of a small but mighty team working miracles every day in the trenches of downtown Detroit through a program called 211 on the Go.
What a particular service would you like for me to help you with today?
They look just like you and me on the outside, but to some they're angels. Angels watching over people like Michael Smith, who knows it, and Daniel Hurd, who doesn't quite yet.
I'm looking for a job too.
The United Way's 211 on the Go is an offshoot of the 211 call-in service that connects those in need to a plethora of resources in southeastern Michigan. But 211 on the Go provides face-to-face outreach to the homeless. Alexis Alexander is the team leader.
We spend a lot of time out in the community engaging those who want to be helped, and really taking the time to get to know the right resources to plug them into.
There are literally thousands of resources available, so many so, a person battling mental illness, addiction, hopelessness, or even someone new to the streets may have no idea where to start or may become overwhelmed. The 211 on the Go team is trained to guide the homeless through the complex web of social services.
So if you don't have valid ID, because it's been quite some time since you've had a home, walking somebody through the steps of reobtaining a birth certificate, figuring out how to get the $10 fee paid at the Secretary of State office.
It starts with baby steps, but can end up transforming lives.
The main things that we end up focusing on are resources for housing. It could be immediate shelter to get you off the streets. It could be housing assistance programs, which provide temporary assistance for a security deposit or rent payment. We also spend a lot of time getting to know the resources for income and employment.
And if it sounds too good to be true, just ask Michael Smith.
If it wasn't for United Way 211 to Go, I probably would still be out there in the streets.
After 6 years of wasting away on the streets of Detroit, Michael hooked up with 211 on the Go at a local shelter. Now he has a job, a home, and a clear head. And he's praying his angels are able to touch many more just like him.
If there's anyone out there that's crying up help, help is available.
And Michael Smith is just one of several hundred 211 on the Go success stories. From downtown Detroit, Amy Andrews. The Davert family faces obstacles every day that would make many people crumble. but somehow they maintain an outlook on life we could all learn a little something from. No matter what is thrown their way, they deal with it with grace, kindness, and a positive attitude that's downright contagious.
I weighed 47 pounds before the pregnancy, and I gained 28 pounds while I was pregnant. So Ken always said I was taller laying down than I was standing up.
At just 2 feet 11 inches tall, Missy Davert is used to overcoming challenges, but when she became pregnant with twins, she was in for the challenge of a lifetime.
We were overwhelmed. We just couldn't believe it, but we always said, you know, there must be a reason. God wants us to have two.
Missy has osteogenesis imperfecta type 3, also known as brittle bone disease. Her husband Ken has cerebral palsy. When they made the decision to try to have a baby, they were prepared for a difficult journey. But when the doctor detected 2 heartbeats, they found themselves in an unprecedented situation. According to her doctor, no one Missy's size with her condition had ever given birth to twins.
That was kind of scary at first to know that nobody else had done it before, so how in the heck were we going to do it, you know?
And the hurdles kept coming. At 17 weeks, the Daverts learned the twins had osteogenesis imperfecta as well. But the news didn't faze Missy.
I know that my life has been great, and I wouldn't trade it with anyone. And I knew that the disability wouldn't prevent them from doing whatever they wanted to in life, whether drive a car, go to college, get married.
Turns out Missy was right. Now 14, the twins are freshmen at John Glenn High School in Bangor Township, Michigan. Austin is in the marching band.
I've been playing for about 4 years now. I play a shaker and I play the snare drum.
Michaela is a straight-A student.
I can pretty much do anything anybody else can do. I don't really have a lot of limits. Like, you know, everybody has their thing, but I'm a lot of fun to be around.
Despite dozens of hospital visits and multiple surgeries to prevent their bones from breaking, these twins have accomplished more than imaginable. Austin enjoys flying airplanes, and Michaela runs a cupcake making business in her spare time. The two were even featured in a commercial for C.S. Mott Children's Hospital.
Some days might be harder than others, but you just gotta think of the positive and be thankful for everything that you have every day and everything that you get to do in life that other people might not be able to do.
Austin and Michaela wow those who know them every day, but no one is prouder of the twins than their father and the woman who risked her life to have them.
All too often we value things in life that aren't important or aren't as important. You know, everybody in life has challenges. Nobody has a perfect life. And if you have the right attitude, every life can be a happy one.